Yo, Jasmine, that
What's up?
show the other night was fire. I was dying.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
That joke about the shoe, that was mad funny. How'd it go again?
White people have one pair of shoes. It's their rain shoe. It's their snow shoe.
That's funny.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, it's like it's their winter shoe. And I used to make fun of people like that until those shoes saved my life. Yeah, I was going to the gym. I had a black hat and a black hoodie on. I'm on my way to the gym. I get stopped by 2 cops. Okay, but they let me go. Because nobody wears New Balance and commits a crime. You know what I mean? Who commits a crime wearing New Balance?
That's funny.
Now, had it been a pair of Jordans, it would have been a different story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like that. That's one of my favorite jokes. Because it's true.
Sorry, I'm just looking for my mug, you know, because some of us actually have to work.
Yo, that's still one of my favorite jokes.
That's a
because
good story, too.
all my white friends got one pair of sneakers.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I've seen it.
They lace them up real tight.
Scott, do you have a moment?
Sure. What can I do to support you, Laureen?
Jasmine took 36 minutes on her lunch break, and I had to pick up her slack for 2 weeks while she went away to go do some shows. I don't even find her that funny. In fact, I find her to be offensive.
What was the joke? I'm sure it was funny. Did you assume positive intent?
I walked into the break room and she was telling a joke about how white people don't wear shoes or white people wear the same kind of sneakers. I don't know. But I don't find her to be the brand of this company.
Well, let's find out together.
Jasmine.
Laureen.
Let us begin. We will start with positive, specific feedback. Jasmine, Laureen finds your jokes to be offensive. Now, one at a time, let's express our feelings using I emotion language.
I don't like your jokes.
Well, I'm a comedian. I make jokes. The joke you have an issue with is a joke I made on stage. I'm a comic. Comedy is a safe space. Plus, I'm protected by freedom of speech.
I guess you have a point. For now.
So, let's hug and make up.
Would you look at this? All these fruits in a basket. Must be pride.
That's fucked up. It's not even June, and you're not even funny.
Leave it to the comedians.
Comedians today, they're constantly apologizing for something. Should we be more socially conscious to the people that's our audience and like mind what we say? Or is it a freedom of speech issue? Like you're a comedian and this is how you tell jokes?
It also depends on the crowd. Like for me, don't just intentionally offend people, but you know.
So you would change your material like last minute because you won't know until you get there.
No, I won't change my material last minute. Like there's some shows that are like gay shows, and I know that that's a gay show, so I was like, there's gonna be a lot of those there. Let me not do that. But then there's some shows that are just regular shows, and it could happen to be them there, and I'm not gonna change my material just because they're there. It's a regular show.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of comedy is just like getting the crowd on your side, and then you can just say whatever.
If I were to change something, I would only change it because at the end of the day, we're there to get laughs. Yeah. So if I'm saying something about, like one time I made a joke about a homeless person. He was overweight. Like, you are eating. Is this a new thing that you just become like what's happening? So people felt like, oh no, don't do that. Right. And I apologize because I know you have a lot of homeless friends. I know you have a lot of overweight homeless friends, and I apologize. But at the end of the day, we're there to get laughs. Yeah. So if it's, and I feel like a joke like that, even though we're liberals take offense to that. Mm-hmm. So if I were in the Midwest they don't give a fuck.
I think that makes a lot of sense that you're catering it to a laugh. Take a stand in being able to say what it is that you want to say, regardless of the crowd.
The audience, they're just assholes, and you know, it get under your skin. As we got thick skin, but sometimes you have a bad night at home, you on stage, you're being professional, then this motherfucker want to act crazy, and you just be like, you know what?
Yeah, so there's the wall though. He wasn't doing comedy. He got pissed and then was like offensive. Yeah. If it was a part of his set, I don't have to like it, but I want to protect his freedom of speech to do that. Like, I just wouldn't go see his show. You know what I mean?
I feel like, okay, I've only been doing comedy a little over a year, but I feel like I'm a different kind of comic because it's like I'm not only there for laughs. Like, sometimes I find myself on stage and I don't give a shit if you laugh because my message is bigger than your laughter. But you have to be willing to take that risk. If you're willing to take that risk, then hey, say what you mean and mean what you say.
There's definitely like a line that we're walking, you know what I mean? Between like, oh shit, like industry's gonna be at the show, I gotta show off my like tightest, whatever, clean, yada yada yada. So it's like we want to be yourself on stage and like whatever and like not give a fuck what anyone thinks, but we're also early in that we're also trying to suck up to the man. So it's like every fucking day we're like, we don't want to be a hack, but we also want to succeed.
We don't want to be censored. It really comes down, it's a business. So, right. So if I'm being booked, I have to abide by what you're saying. Now, if this is a show I'm producing and another comic is like, hey, try not to do any Trump jokes. Who the fuck are you?
Right. So it's like we will respect our employer's wishes, but if it's your own set on your own time.
I have a question though. Okay, like when someone books you, they pretty much have an idea of who you are. So why the fuck would you book me and tell me not to talk about dildos? You just see me.
Because you could be popping. And you're famous and you're going to bring in people. That's the thing with Kathy Griffin. From what I understand, because I don't watch her stuff, they said that she is vulgar and graphic like this, that this is her type of comedy. So they shouldn't be surprised that she was. Right. So, but it's like she still has all these endorsements because she's popping. Right. So somebody could book you just to get the people in the door. Because if they're going to pay you X amount of money, they need to reimburse themselves by getting people in the seats. But then they're like, okay, we want you to bring the people in, but don't say this.
You have a stereotypical view. How can you actually make that funny? Because like that's what it's going to come down to. Like obviously people will be offended, but if you have a universal funny joke, if they're like some people are still going to laugh. So I think I've seen a lot of like young comics be like, I can't say whatever the fuck I want, but it's also like, dude, you have no punchlines in there. That's like the thing. You're yelling about like I've seen dudes like do jokes about like hooking up with different ethnicities or having sex with transgender people, but there's no fucking joke there. So that's the thing. He's like, these sensitive crowds, but it's just like, no, you're actually not a comedian. You know what I mean? So it's that if you want to be able to say it, work it into your voice and make it like work with everything else that you're doing.
It doesn't just happen like that. You have to have a specific point of view and a specific outlook on life in order to say, I need to say this word in order for it to really drive my point of view home.
And their goal is to get on stage and be an edgy comedian rather than start with jokes and stuff like that. So they're fucking screaming like profanities and like all this stupid shit and then they get mad at the room. But it's just like, why don't you start with like jokes? You know what I mean? Instead of having your goal. Like I overheard someone at a mic say like, I think I got a way to say the N-word in one of my sets. And I was like, dude, how about you just work on being funny? Because I've never seen you do well.
If you guys as comics start dumbing down your material or censoring your material, then we no longer have a society of where we can go and escape it. Guys, that was really good.
Is that it? There's more wine. I'm going in for overtime. Like, get money. What's up? Like, you gotta pour more. What's happening? That's enough.
San Francisco. It's not Cisco. But I know Cisco.
Okay. Subscribe, right? That's what they do in all those YouTube videos. Subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And follow me in all these places that I'm sure I'm going to be adding links to.